Check, check, check.
So there's a little bit more room. Gear 1.
Check, check, check. Hello and welcome. We are here live from Holy Cross Regional High School in Surrey, British Columbia for the girls' final of the 2020 BC Catholic Basketball Championships between the St. Thomas Aquinas Fighting Saints and the St. Thomas More Knights. I'll be doing the play-by-play for tonight. I am Kevin Wellsmith, and I'm here with Johnny Batante doing the color.
Good evening, everyone. Looking forward to a really, really great game tonight with two contrasting styles. The very, very tall, very long Fighting Saints and the short and quick and athletic St. Thomas More Knights.
Castiel Penalosa passes it over.
And that's what we're going to see all night tonight is Jessica Clark looking to dominate the glass.
Markarian dumps it into Jenna Cutler. Tipped. And Gigi Gaspar for 3. It's good.
Looks like Aquinas is looking to use Jess Clark to break pressure here. The Knights will bring a lot of pressure, and Clark is going to have to be a big part of their breaking that pressure.
Ball's inbounded to Castiel Penalosa. She brings it up the floor, looking to pass it on to Gaspar. Back to Gaspar. Shot is short, rebounded by Kaylee O'Flaherty. Dump in pass to Cutler, too long, out of bounds.
STA had that one. They had the opportunity. Didn't quite work out for them, but they will look to hit Cutler in the low post like that with a lob pass.
Looks like we got our first foul of the night.
That's great hustle work by STM. Kate Stewart-Barnett drawing that foul. That was just a hustle play on her part. Very well done.
First personal foul, team foul number 1.
A block by Clark there. That's what they look to do with Clark is keep her close to the rim and have her rejecting shots, changing shots all night.
Nice inbounding the ball on the baseline. Gaspar for 3. No good this time. Tipped out of bounds and we'll stay here.
The Knights will look to bomb away because long shots mean long rebounds.
Bella Gaspar inbounding it to Penalosa, over to Gigi Gaspar. Let's get inside to Yao. Not there. Penalosa for 3. No good. Rebounded. Oh, out of bounds. So we've got a turnover here. STA ball on the baseline.
STA is going to look to keep it a bit of a cleaner game. The Knights are looking to make it a little more scrambly. That's more their style is pressure, pressure, pressure.
Saints getting trapped in the corner. Looking to reverse the ball over to Pinocchio. Cutler guarded tightly, double teamed. Gets tied up with Penalosa.
And if you put it on the floor, the Knights will be on top of you.
Penalosa drives, kicks, turnover. Stolen by Markarian.
It's a really nice part of Penalosa's game is that drive and dish. Didn't quite work out that time though.
Saints look for the high-low. It's covered well by Gaspar. And they force the turnover.
Again, that's good ball pressure by the Knights that forced that extra dribble by Clark and the 3-second call on Cutler.
Three's long for Gaspar, but rebounded by the Knights. Yao goes up strong. Looks like she's fouled by Clark.
Fouls on number 14, Jessica Clark.
So Clark with her first foul of the night. That's the second team foul on the Saints. And Yao will go to the line shooting 2. Maybe nerves a factor here on the free throws?
I would say so. It's a healthy crowd here tonight, and it's the first time in a couple of years that the Knights have been in the final.
She makes a second. Saints facing full court pressure from the Knights. And she blows through the pressure, but blocked by Penalosa. Good hustle on the rebound, and we're going to the line.
Big rebound by Cutler.
Fouls on number 13, Tatiana Yao. That's her first personal foul. Team foul.
Cutler spends a lot of time within about 6 feet of the hoop and is going to look to dominate the glass. She got it there and resulted in a good foul.
Tylene Markarian at the line, shooting a pair, misses the first.
Curious, I thought 11 got fouled there.
Second one goes. 4-1 for the Knights. As ball's over half court. Penalosa dumps down to Yao, but it's turned over. Nopio picks it up. Look for the quick dump down to Cutler. And she's fouled by Gaspar.
When the ball gets inside to Cutler, it's really, really tough for the Knights to defend that.
Fouls on number 0, Bella Gaspar. That's her first personal foul. Team foul number 2.
And Jordan Lalande checks in for the Fighting Saints.
Fighting Saints, number 12, Jordan Alani.
So once again, the Fighting Saints looking for the dump down high-low action between Cutler and Clark. And Knights looking to attack from the perimeter with their guard play. She misses the second, but offensive board.
That's a great hustle rebound. Great hustle rebound.
Kicks it out, but stolen by Penalosa. Stuart Barnett over to Gaspar. Penalosa, quarterback in the offense. Handoff to Stuart Barnett. Swings it over to Gaspar. She'll drive in the lane, blocked by Clark, but we've got a foul.
Fouls on number 11, Jenna Cutler. Her second personal.
So that's Cutler's second foul. That could be a problem. As,
That's going to be a problem.
we head into
because
this halfway through the first quarter.
She's got 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes, and she is a big part of their offense. And even defensively, too, they have her guard shooters sometimes because she's so long and creates all sorts of problems for shooters trying to get the ball from their three-point line.
So exciting roster here for the Fighting Saints with Jessica Clark heading off to Washington State University next year, and Gemma Cutler playing D2 at SFU.
That's right. They're quality players. They worked hard at their game, and that has been recognized at the next level. They should do well. They're very skilled players and very well coached and know their business. While we got a moment here, Matt, Kevin, big shout out to all the people that are listening and watching online on YouTube. This is a big deal. Lots of people watching online, and big shout out actually to the SJB Bears in room 125 here at Holy Cross.
And also the St. Pat Celtics in room 127. Shout out to Celtics.
Fantastic.
So STM looking to inbound the ball on the baseline. It's tipped out of bounds, so we'll try it again.
Into the game is 16.
So Gabrielle Panzetta in to give Gemma Cutler a break and save her from some foul trouble. Ball's inbounded to Gaspar. Yao up top, back to Penalosa. She thinks shot, no. Gets in the lane. Gets her own rebound, and still no good. 2 tries, but no luck. But Kay Stewart Barnett picks up the rebound out to Gaspar for 3. No,
Great
long.
hustle on the glass. My goodness, great hustle. But again, Clark just changes so many shots inside. She's so deadly.
Stewart Barnett with good hustle. Tips it out of bounds.
And again, that's the style the Knights are going to want to play, is full court pressure, 90 feet of madness to try and neutralize STA's height.
It's really a great matchup with the clash of styles with the guard play and the bigs. We got another foul here for the Knights.
Fouls on number 0, Bella Gaspar.
That's Bella Gaspar's second foul. So another key player in foul trouble early here tonight.
The nice part for the Knights is they're quite a deep roster. They play a lot of players because of the style. They have to play a lot of players with the pressure they put on. So they've got players ready to step in for Bella Gaspar.
Kaylee McCarrion, floater good.
That's a beautiful play.
We're all tied up.
And not the kind of stuff the Knights want to see because they're trying to concentrate on the bigs. That's a great play by the STA guard.
Penalosa inside Yao. Back out. Penalosa swings it around up top over to Gaspar. Looking to break her check down. Floater in the lane and it drops.
That's a gutsy play by Gigi Gaspar. Just hard work.
Turnover by Clark. STM looking to capitalize on that opportunity, but they'll pull it out and set something up. Hand off to Gaspar. She's thinking three. Decides to attack instead. Looking inside to Yao, but it's tipped by Panzetta, and we've got a jump ball.
Panzetta is a grade 10 student playing senior. The size just keeps chugging out from STA, it looks like.
Sure what's in the water over on the North Shore there.
6'3", 6'2", 6'1".
Not too bad.
Nice luxury.
Coach wondering why the Knights aren't pressuring the guards. Penalosa picks up Pinocchio. Gives her a little bit of trouble. She hands it off to Markarian. Look inside, but she turns it over.
Kaylee O'Flaherty is a nice option for STA as well. She's about a 5'10", 5'11" player that likes to play in the post as well. Just didn't quite handle that one.
Kay Stewart Barnett in the lane, floater over top of Clark. Great shot.
Beautiful finish.
Tipped on Penalosa. She picks it up. Looking to attack in the fast break. Over to Yao. Back-to-back hoops for the Knights. Stretching the lead to 6. 10-4 STM right now. And more pressure giving this Fighting Saints problems. Another turnover.
This is exactly the game the Knights want to play.
Minute 40 left to go in the first. 10-4 lead for STM.
You see how the game changes with Gemma Cutler out of the game. It's much more difficult for them to assert themselves.
Yao goes right at Clark, blocked, but turned over back to the Knights. And another foul looks like on Clark.
Some frustration starting to show from Jessica Clark, unfortunately. That'll be her second.
14, Clark.
And we've got a timeout. STA looking to settle things on their press break here, and STM maybe trying to mix things up.
Yeah, it looks like STA is starting to get a little bit frustrated. The Knights are successfully putting a lot of pressure on the guards, and STA is actually having trouble getting over half court at this point.
So that's 2 fouls on Cutler and 2 fouls on Clark. The 2 star-studded players on the STA Fighting Saints. That's no good for them.
No, it's very bad news, and coaches John Prescott and Matt Clark and Taylor Prescott are going to have their hands full with how to neutralize this pressure, especially with both of their bigs in foul trouble.
So it looks like they got Clark inbounding the ball.
Yeah, which looks like a good plan because Jessica Clark is actually a very good passer, but you need her favorite target to pass to is Gemma Cutler. With both of them out right now, this is tough.
It's going to be small ball.
I think so, but at some point, I think you're going to have to get them back in the game. Ideally, coaches like to sit them for when they have 2 fouls. I sit them for till the second half, but I'm not sure that's going to happen here.
It looks like Clark's going to stay in the game with 2, so desperate times stand for desperate measures. They go right at her though.
Smart player. She's going to have to stay out of foul trouble.
Gaspar misses, but it's tipped out of bounds by the Saints, so we'll stay here. (10-4) Knights lead.
I foresee the Saints possibly going to a zone defense eventually, just to avoid a little bit of foul trouble.
Turnover by the Knights, so we'll come back the other way, see how much pressure they put on this Saints lineup. Pinocchio guarded tightly by Penalosa. And stolen by Yao. She'll go coast to coast and finish. 12-4 lead for STM. Under a minute to go in the first.
STM is so quick and so athletic. That resulted in a foul, but you see the pressure they put on the guards.
So each team has 4 team fouls, so next one will be into the penalty. Another steal, Stuart Barnett. Easy deuce. 14-4, 10-point lead. Saints having trouble putting points on the board, having trouble with the pressure. Hoping to settle things down here. Great pressure by Gaspar. She gets a hand on it, but it goes over to Clark. Guarded by Yao. Good pressure by Yao. Ball's tipped off the backboard. Rebounded by Stuart Barnett. Quickly up to Penalosa. She drives to the hoop. And it's good. 10 seconds left to go in the quarter. 16-4 lead, STM. Clark looking to cross over. Yao gets a hand on it. And that'll do it for the first quarter. So St. Thomas More dominates that first quarter, 16-4.
Right now, it's like the Saints have no room to breathe even on the floor. Everywhere they turn, there's somebody right in front of them. There's a red jersey there, pushing pressure on. They're very handsy, the Knights are. They can get into foul trouble, but they have such a deep bench that they can bring in players from the bench quite comfortably. I'd hazard a guess there's nobody on the Knights team that is irreplaceable. Whereas when you look at the Saints, there's 2 players that you could argue are largely irreplaceable. The Knights don't have that luxury of those type of players, but they also don't have the problem of having to sit those players down then.
So Tatiana Yao is their big, but I've been impressed with her foot speed, staying in front of Clark. Even though Clark is much taller, she's been playing mostly in kind of the high post area, and Cutler was in the low post, and they were dumping it down to her. But Yao's been doing a great job on Clark so far.
Yao's a very underrated player. She plays much bigger than she is. She's very smart. She's quite physical. She rarely gets into trouble, and she has excellent feet. I've had the good fortune of being able to watch her play, and she's quite good.
So Yao with just the 1 foul.
And only in grade 11 as well. She's back for another year next year.
In the corner to Emily Diaz, who was hot from the outside yesterday. She shoots for 3. It's good. So she keeps the streak rolling with the hot hand. Emily Diaz, great shot.
Again, this is exactly the game that the Knights were hoping for. Exactly the game they were hoping for.
Clark perhaps trying to take on a little too much here, driving into a double team. And we've got a jump ball. Saints are talking things over, how to deal with this pressure.
Yeah, I think they're looking at Jess to handle some of that pressure, just because she's so long and can pick up the ball and have it above everybody's head to make a pass.
Into Cutler, looks right down at Clark, not there. Over to Katie O'Flaherty. Into the corner to Jordan Lalande, and she turns it over. We've got either a shot clock violation or just it was out of bounds. Either way, it's a turnover.
It's a tough shot. That's a bit of desperation right there, because they really didn't have anything else. They haven't been able to loosen up those bigs because the Knights have packed it in so tight in the key against them.
So Gia Pinocchio subs in for Jordan Lalande.
I can almost foresee the Saints going to a double low set just to try and loosen things up down low.
Might be a good idea. Diaz, heat check, short, rebounded by Clark. And Stuart Barnett looks like she picks up her second.
Yeah.
Foul on number 5, Kate Stuart Barnett, her second personal foul, team foul number 1.
Another sub for the Knights is Rylan Monks.
Number 9, Rylan.
Give Stuart Barnett a rest, and Bella Gaspar checks back in.
And again, the Knights just chug another player, and Monks is a very good player and is a good substitute for Emily Diaz.
Carrion almost turns it over, but gets it to Clark. They look right inside to Cutler.
That's the game the Saints want to play. Right there with a great pass.
Jessica Clark.
Knights with 19-6 lead. Emily Diaz guarded by Pinocchio. Pinocchio handoff to Gaspar. Over to Rylan Monks, back to Gaspar. Floater long, rebounded by Cutler, but we've got a jump ball. Great hustle by Gaspar.
That's not a bad possession, actually, defensive possession for the Saints. If they can force the Knights to shoot like that and just limit them to one shot, that's pretty good for them. The Knights want to run and gun, so if the Saints can force them into a long 24-second clock, it's a good look for them. That's not a great shot, and I think that's ideal for the Saints.
Gaspar is laughing as she head back on defense.
She's not worried right now.
No.
That was a bit of a heat check, too.
Dump in past Cutler, tipped out of bounds. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
3 Knights in front of Cutler on that one. 3 Knights.
Inbounded to Clark. She'll take the 3. Long.
Jess can make that shot. Jessica Clark can make that shot.
Great hustle by Diaz on the rebound. Gaspar coming the other way.
That was a good decision.
Pulls it out. Over to Diaz, back to Gaspar. Baseline drive, tipped out of bounds by Clark. 12 seconds to go on the shot clock for the Knights.
Good recognition by the Saints that she wasn't going to shoot from there. The only thing she had from there was a pass, so they defended the pass.
And the Knights used their last time out of the half.
Knights coaches Winston Brown and Jen Frano, veteran coaches, been around AA basketball for many, many years. Winston Brown actually spent a lot of time coaching at York House and was part of the York House dynasty in the late 90s and throughout the 2000s when he was coaching there with Dave Prisanati.
So we're here for the 2020 BC Catholic Basketball Championships. The tournament dates back to 1988.
That's right.
Here at Holy Cross, hosting the tournament. And a lot of history, just looking back over the past champions here. Ball rebounded by the Knights. Gaspar pulls it up, sets the play up.
Again, that's what the Saints don't want to see. They want to limit them to one shot.
Bella Gaspar, baseline drive. Turnover to Clark.
Smart defense by the Saints.
Arcarian over Pinocchio, quick 3. No good. Rebound by Gaspar. Gaspar is all over the court, not just because there's 2 of them, but they're also both all over the floor, doing all kinds of little intangibles. Rebounds, steals, trapping.
Very athletic basketball players, and actually very good lacrosse athletes too.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're very very athletic. They chase you all over the floor. What's really improved this year dramatically is their shooting touch.
Looks like Knights in a 1-3-1 zone here.
Yeah, changing it up. I've seen this before.
Clark
They're
backs
very good
down
at it.
Diaz. O'Flaherty in the corner. Great pressure by Stuart Barnett, but a little too much for the ref's liking.
Number 5, Kate Stewart Barnett. Team foul number 1.
That's Gemma Cutler's third personal. That's going to be a challenge for STA now.
Ouch.
Offensive foul on that one.
Ouch, that's a problem. 3 fouls, still 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. 8-minute quarters here at the BC Catholics as Diaz knocks down her second of the game.
The Knights are a very good shooting team. In their ideal situation, they are running and they are gunning. And so far right now, it's working well.
Gaspar, tough drive to the hoop. She'll go to the line.
Fouls on number 3, Gia Pinocchio. Her first personal foul. Team foul number 2.
So Bella Gaspar going to the line for 2. 22-6 lead for St. Thomas More. It's a little confusing, St. Thomas More against St. Thomas Aquinas, gotta say.
It's a bit of a mouthful. Again, this is exactly the type of game the Knights want to play, not the type of game that STA wants to play. They have not been able to slow the Knights down at all.
Definitely they're going to have to go on a run sometime soon.
Yeah.
Great rebound, Clark. She pushes it up in the break, right into Cutler. No good, rebounded Penalosa. Penalosa, really quick and shifty guard. I've been really impressed with her, watching her over the years at this tournament. And I'm glad to see she's taken it to the hoop a lot more this season.
Yep,
Last year she was really hesitant to shoot, even though she was really creating things for her teammates, but she's looking to score more.
She's a next level player.
Technical foul on the Saints bench.
Oh, we've got a technical here.
Yeah, Penalist is a next level player. Her ideal is drive and dish.
She had a big to play with that could really run the pick and roll. Should be
And I think at the
pretty
next
effective.
level, of course, that would be ideal.
Well, things seem to be working out for them right now. So
That's their weakness. If they they run into a team that has guards that can handle their pressure, what comes to bear, of course, is the fact that they really are not a big team. They're, as you mentioned, Tatiana Yao is their big, and she's about 5'8".
Yeah.
That becomes a real challenge. They make the most of it, though. They are very tough to play against, but again, a bigger team with strong guard play is going to make them struggle.
Penalosa, great take.
That's her quickness coming to bear.
Pinocchio over to Tarkarian. High post, Clark. Looks down to Cutler. There it is, the bread and butter.
Again, exactly what they want to do.
Clark to Cutler. Both in foul trouble, no problem.
I think if I'm the Saints right now, I'm hoping to get it within a dozen.
Penalosa for 3, way short. Rebounded by Clark. Up to Pinocchio. She's walked right into a trap, though. Throws it off Gaspar's leg, and they'll keep the ball. As Tatiana Yao checks back into the game.
I think Clark probably wanted that pass back as soon as she threw it, realized that she'd put her teammate in a difficult situation. But it worked out okay. Smart play by Pinocchio.
So 15 seconds on the shot clock. Pinocchio in the corner. 3 ball, no good. Rebounded by Clark. Flips it up over Yao. No good. Cutler's there. Also no good. Great hustle by Yao and Katie O'Flaherty. They get tied up. So Saints still scrapping.
Saints probably feel a bit snake-bit missing those 2 shots inside by their bigs. But again, if they are able to establish that a little more, this game is not over.
What you get into Cutler, tipped by Penalosa.
I think Macarian probably would have liked to put that pass up a little bit higher to her 6'2" teammate.
So ball's passed into O'Flaherty, covered by Penalosa. Over to Pinocchio, high post, Clark. Over to the wing, 3 ball, no good. Rebounded by Gaspar. Oh no. Is that at the 3rd on Clark? No, it's not. So the foul's on Katie O'Flaherty.
Fortunate. That looked like it was on Clark, but it was clearly not.
O'Flaherty also with 2 in the first half. So 8-minute quarters here at the BC Catholic Championships. Changes things a little bit in terms of strategy, but it's still basketball at the end of the day. Tarkarian over center, over to O'Flaherty. Look right inside to Clark, guarded by Yao. Double team by Gaspar, over to Clark, and she'll draw the foul.
Again, that's the look they want. That's just a low post and a dive, and those two working in tandem.
So Clark drawing the double team with Yao and Gaspar, which opens things up. Good rotation by the Knights, but just a step slow.
Is it just me, or are the Knights getting a little bit winded with the pace they were putting up?
Yeah, hopefully they didn't use it all up too early.
Things seem to have gotten a little bit cold for the Knights right now. Let's see if they can bring their energy back. STA having a little more success establishing their half-court game.
So 24-10, 14-point game here. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. STM up big, looking to maintain their lead, but looking a little tired. Diaz for 3, short this time. Rebounded by Clark.
And again, one shot, that's what they want.
Markarian baseline drive, dish into Cutler, great hustle by Diaz.
That was really good defensive play to rotate down on that. You can hear Winston Brown, Coach Winston Brown yelling, go, 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 as they bring the ball up the floor. They want to keep that pressure on, keep that pace up. Tire out STA.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Penalosa dumps it inside to Gaspar, guarded by O'Flaherty. Flipped over Clark. Rebounded Yao. Blocked by Clark. Clark causing all kinds of trouble with her presence.
Not likely the last time we'll hear that sentence.
3 seconds on the clock. Yao flips it up and over Clark.
The Knights really needed that basket because I think they've been a little cold of late, but they really needed that 2 points. And again, by that underrated player that just keeps making plays for them.
So Markarian in the corner to O'Flaherty. Look inside to Clark. Great job by Penalosa to get a hand on it. Gaspar coming back full speed the other way. And it's knocked out of bounds by Pinopio.
Again, there were three Knights gathered around Clark on that play.
All looking to rotate and hustle too. Nobody's taking a break on defense at all.
No, not with the Knights. They can't afford it. And they're at their best when they don't take breaks.
Definitely need some Gatorade at halftime.
I think they'll be happy to expend their last energy if they're able to come out with a victory here.
3 ball short. Rebound by Clark. No Knights crashing the boards on that play. Looks right into Cutler. Good defense by Gaspar. She'll try again. Good does the second try.
And again, the Knights up the floor quickly.
Right back at him as Penalosa looks to attack the paint. Kicks it over to Diaz. Diaz, 3 ball. Good.
So much for being tired. That's a big basket.
I think Diaz is 3 for 4 from downtown so far. Playing great defense as well. Into Cutler, guarded by Gaspar. No good. Just enough to disrupt her shot. So that foul's on Diaz.
That's her second personal foul.
So Diaz with 2 fouls. Up screen for Pinopio. 3 ball long, or was it a pass to Clark? Nope, out of bounds.
That one caught Clark off guard. She saw it, but didn't quite track it enough to get the catch, or that likely would have been too easy.
I thought it might have been an alley-oop off the glass, to be honest.
Not a bad play with Clark on the other end.
Penalosa with the drive, blocked by Clark, and that'll do it for the first half. So the St. Thomas More Knights pretty dominant in the first half, leading 29-12. Fighting Saints in all kinds of foul trouble. Will they be able to rally back in this second half?
had the good fortune of watching the Saints at a tournament before Christmas where they were down 15 in the fourth quarter to a very good team from Southbridge, and they came back and won by 4.
In the fourth quarter, so they got a full half to work with here. So we'll see what they can do.
Now, again, very different styles. The Southbridge team, the Southbridge Storm, didn't put quite as much pressure on as the Knights do. So it was a very different style, but they have come back from large numbers down before. We'll see if they're able to do so this time. The Knights, though, right now they're having their way as far as the pace of the game. It's exactly the type of game they want to see.
All right, so I think we'll take a quick break for halftime here and recharge the batteries, and we'll catch you for the second half.
Thanks, Kevin.
So we're back for the second half of the 2020 BC Catholic Basketball Championships. The girls' final as the St. Thomas More Knights lead the St. Thomas Aquinas Fighting Saints 29-12. And it's been all Knights so far. And but don't count the Fighting Saints out. They've got a lot left in the tank for sure.
They can easily put up 40 points and a half. Will they in this game? The way it's gone, it doesn't look like it, but you never know what adjustments they make.
So I didn't realize this as the game was going on, but Jessica Clark has been completely left off the score sheet so far.
She's going to the line here, so that might change.
So Yao picks up her second.
Actually, she's not going to the line. This is on the end line.
Inbounded to Pinocchio. Or to Markarian. Looks inside to Cutler.
That's the
Clark
high-low
not
game.
scoring, but she has been picking up quite a few assists here, dumping it down into Cutler.
That's
So
the high-low game. And if you don't guard her up top, Jess Clark will hit that shot too.
Gaspar over to Penalosa. 3, good.
Penalosa with the 3-point sign, holding up 3 fingers.
Clark crossover center. Over to Markarian. Back up top. Great job fronting by Gaspar on Cutler. So the high-low's not there, but Clark gets on the board. 32-16.
She's
Knights
very good
lead.
at shooting from a variety of angles.
Gaspar called for the travel.
If I'm STA right now, I'm hoping to get it down to single digits by the end of the third quarter. Here's the Knights' pressure.
Stuart Barnett. Tough D. A little too tight up on Markarian, so she'll pick up a foul. I think that's her fourth for Stuart Barnett. So Diaz will check in for her.
And again, the Knights bench goes to work for them.
Play a little more aggressive with a deeper bench, for sure.
They worked hard to develop their bench and their players because they have to play this style.
So talking to Coach Jen Ferrano yesterday about some of their challenges about talking on defense earlier in the year. So what they had them do was every time they weren't talking on defense, they had to run a set of lines and sing a song. And it was their choice whether they were going to talk on defense or run and sing. And she said that actually worked like a charm.
For the SJB Bears girls team sitting in room 125 listening right now, guess what we're doing next practice?
Sorry, girls.
It's good defense by the Saints to stop that penetration and force a traveling violation by Gaspar.
Full court pressure by the Knights. Denying the inbounds. They look to get into Cutler, but stolen by Gaspar. Up to Yao. Passes over to Diaz. Short. Rebounded. Markarian faces some pressure from Gaspar. And we've got a jump ball.
Jump ball. Possession to the Knights.
Penalosa into Gaspar. Swings it over to Yao. She thinks a long 2. Tipped by Cutler. Back to the Knights. Penalosa. Baseline drive. Swing pass over to Gaspar. 3-ball long. Rebounded Clark. Guarded full court by Yao. She picks it up in the backcourt. Over to Markarian.
This is going to be a problem.
Double teamed. Yao. Steal. And the easy 2. Markarian back to Clark. Guarded by Yao. Spin move. Almost stolen, but she keeps the ball over center. Backing down Penalosa from the 3-point line. Dives on the loose ball. Coach Prescott asking for a foul. We've got a jump ball.
It's a lot of hard work by Clark, and really not what they want to have her doing is handling the ball up the floor against 2 or 3 different kids. That's not ideal. Coach Prescott's very frustrated with the referees right now.
So Jordan Lalande checks in for Aquinas.
Screen for Clark, no good. Over to Markarian, baseline drive, and almost a charge, but she was just a step late. So Gaspar will pick up a foul.
I love it. She pops up with a smile. Not really worried about it.
They love what they do.
And only her first personal. Gigi does so much for this team.
Lobbed into Clark. Short. Clark looking a bit frustrated tonight. Facing all kinds of pressure. Things not going their way. We'll see how they rally in this second half.
And again, the Knights are having their way. Doing exactly what they want. Frustrating those two bigs.
DS with the hot hand. Dumps it inside to Yao. Turnover stolen by Markarian. Crossover at center. Layup good.
Coast to coast. Very nicely done by Markarian.
So Bella Gaspar looks to slow things down here for the Knights. Guarded by Cutler on the perimeter. Handoff to Diaz. Over to Penalosa. Back to Gaspar on the corner. Crossover Penalosa. Knights drive into the two bigs. No good. As Penalosa picks up a foul. Looking over to coach. Saying, my bad, coach. Bit of an unnecessary foul for the Knights there, but they can handle it.
But again, that's the pressure they want to put on. They want the Knights, the Saints, to know that they are right with them every time they touch the ball. So I think Penalosa, that's her first foul. She'll gladly take that foul if it keeps the pressure on the Saints.
Clark dribbles right in, dishes it to O'Flaherty, looking almost like the point guard. But we got a foul on the ground.
It looks like that might be their fifth foul of the half, though, so this might be bonus.
I think that last foul was on Rylan Monks.
We'll get confirmation on that fifth foul.
Yeah. So it is put up on the scoreboard here, so that is the fifth. So we're in the penalty now.
And with 4 minutes left, that's significant. The Saints will have to look to capitalize on that, keep going to the hoop, keep drawing fouls, and go to the line, maybe try and get back into the game in that way. And that also slows the game down. Whenever you can stop the play, it slows the game down, which plays into the Saints' favor. For the Knights, they're going to have to keep their hands off a little bit, stay out of foul trouble to maintain this lead and maybe even stretch the lead.
So Knights with an 18-point lead, if my math's correct.
That would be 16.
16. I do not teach math. This is not my forte, as you can tell. So a 16-point lead.
I can tell.
That was justified. So not insurmountable. 16 points.
Certainly not insurmountable. There's 4 minutes left in the third quarter. There's plenty of time here, and with the Knights in a little bit of foul trouble being in the bonus.
So Katie O'Flaherty at the line.
Important for Katie to put two down here.
And she hits the first. So we got a full house here tonight for the finals. Sold out finals. You know it's the BC Catholics when we've got the nuns in the house as well.
And stick around online for the boys final. Vancouver College and Holy Cross renew their battle that they've had over the last several years. Holy Cross winning the last several, but the Vancouver College Fighting Irish are actually ranked above the Knights. Above the Crusaders.
Should be a great game tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Rankings.
So it looks like the Fighting Saints are starting to rally a little bit here. Momentum may be shifting as the Knights pick up yet another foul, and Jessica Clark goes to the line.
This is not the type of game the Knights want to play, where the play is stopping and starting and stopping and starting. Does not play into their favor.
So I think that's Penalosa's second foul. If
yes,
I'm
it
correct.
is.
Okay, so she misses the first. Everything's important now for
those
the
are two big
Saints.
misses for Clark, unfortunately, for her.
And Gaspar right back down the floor quickly. Pulls it back out to Diaz. They're not in a hurry.
No, they want to try and establish something again here. They've lost a bit of rhythm with those fouls. They want to get back into their rhythm offensively. They're a very good offensive team, very good shooting team. Bombs away.
Oh, good. Ryland Monks.
That's a huge basket for the Knights.
O'Flaherty drives hard, but calls for the offensive foul. Great job by Gigi Gaspar to step in there and take the charge.
Excellent defense, and the truth is you got to sell the charge a little bit, and she did an awesome job. And it was a charge.
So 17-point lead here for St. Thomas More. Into the high post to Yao. Got cutters on both sides, both guarded well. Handoff to Diaz. Pulls up. No. I think she's a little too close. She likes the 3-ball. Quick pass down the floor to Cutler. She handles it. Perhaps a double dribble there, but no call. Over to Clark. Right back into Cutler. Great job by the Fighting Saints.
Very pretty. Again, those two work in tandem so well. That's exactly the kind of play they want to make.
Pedalosa crossover over to Diaz. 3-ball. No good. Great job by Ryla Monks to grab that rebound. Offensive boards always hurt.
And for the Saints, again, having to work this hard again on defense is not ideal. The Knights taking
Monks
their
for
time, bombing away.
3, short. Rebounded by O'Flaherty, and we've got a jump ball.
Jump ball, Knights position.
So 14 seconds on the shot clock as the Knights inbound the ball. As the Knights get called for an illegal screen, I believe.
That's Gigi Gaspar with the illegal screen, but only her second personal.
So the Fighting Saints looking to capitalize once again. Claw back a little bit here in this game. Be nice to get it within 10 to end the quarter. And pace is starting to slow down a bit as well with all the fouls and stoppages and free throws. So that may work in the the Saints' favor. Dumped into Cutler, no good. Guarded well by Yao.
Cutler's being forced to get the ball so deep that she doesn't have a great angle to attack the hoop, and she's missed a lot of baskets that they look like they're just rolling off the edge of the rim.
About to go O'Flaherty. Over to Lalande. Lalande shoots long, but rebounded by Clark. And count the bucket. So we've got an and one. Jessica Clark, maybe she's starting to heat up here.
She's had a little more success in this half, and if you let her get off the schneid a little bit, she'll start to pour them in on you.
So all these points that the Fighting Saints are scoring are on free throws, which stops the clock, gives them a bit of a breather, and allows them to fight back and claw back.
So slows the game down.
And we've got a foul on Jessica Clark. Oh no.
Jessica Clark.
That's her third personal. Still manageable.
Great pass by Yao to the cutting Gaspar. She bobbles it though. Back out to Diaz. She's always looking to shoot, as she should. Penalosa, great take, and we've got a foul on Jessica Clark. That'll be her fourth.
That's a problem.
Great take by Penalosa.
14, Jessica Clark, her fourth personal foul, team foul, number 3.
So Pinocchio will sub in for Clark. STA looking to shake things up here.
Unfortunately, just as Jessica was starting to heat up a little bit offensively, she has to sit down for a little while. That's going to sap some of the energy that they had created. Referees are raising a question about the number of team fouls on STA, saying it should be 3 team fouls.
So the scorekeepers fix it up. And so just about the BC Catholic Championships here. Student run, for the most part, tournaments. Great job done by the scorekeepers. All the different volunteer hours that the kids put in to run this tournament. They do such a great job. And it's a really fun event for all involved.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you bring that up. They do a great job as Gemma Cutler pours in 2 points. They do a great job here. The scorekeepers at Holy Cross are second to none. They're kids, and they make the odd mistake once in a while, but as a coach, as a basketball coach for a lot of years myself, I see a lot of scorekeepers, and I can tell you that the Holy Cross scorekeepers are very well trained, and they know their business. And they understand basketball, which is a huge part of being a scorekeeper, frankly.
Absolutely. So we've got 5 seconds on the shot clock here for STM. Let's see what they cook up. 13-point lead. Back to Penalosa, deep three, way long. And we've got a shot clock violation. So 46 seconds left in the third quarter. 13-point lead as the Knights lead 39-26.
I think if you're STA, you're hoping to get maybe one more bucket.
As Pinocchio draws the foul, so that'll stop the clock.
If you're the Knights, you're hoping to get at least 2 more possessions out of this yourself.
So Diaz picks up her third. So we got Diaz with 3, Stuart Barnett with 4, Gaspar with 2. So that's Bella Gaspar with 2, Cassiel Penalosa with 2, Gigi Gaspar with 2, and Yao with 2. So 2 fouls, not that big of a deal in the second half.
No, and the Knights, again, are so deep that they handle fouls better than a lot of teams.
Ball's hit ahead. Up to Yao in the paint. She's swarmed. Stolen by Cutler. She'll come back the other way. Slow it down. Tough place to pick up the ball, but she's fine. Into the corner to Markarian. Spin move. Pivots. Ripped away by Yao. And she's fouled. So that foul was on Markarian.
Number 6, Markarian.
It's only her first. Damage is minimal, and they're not in the bonus. That works in, frankly, it works into STA's favor because it stops the clock. STM was headed up the floor on a transition opportunity. I think STM will look to kill the clock here probably, or maybe not.
Quick 3, no good. Rebound by Flaherty. We got 5 seconds to get up the floor. Looks like they'll just dribble it out. So 39-26 lead. St. Thomas More leading the St. Thomas Aquinas Fighting Saints here at the 2020 BC Catholic Basketball Championship Finals. And it's not out of reach for the Saints, but it's been a tough night.
They are in some trouble, though, with Jess Clark with 4 fouls, Gemma Cutler with 3 fouls. That's a problem. Jess is going to find it much more difficult to establish herself inside as a defensive presence since she has 4 fouls. One more, and she's done for the night. So
is it time for Gemma Cutler just to take over here?
I think ideally yes, but it's difficult with Gemma Cutler as a low post player ideally for her to take over when somebody's got to feed her the ball. So somebody's got to get the ball to her, and then she can establish herself. Defensively, she spends more time on the perimeter, guarding perimeter players with her length. They may switch that. We'll have to see. Interestingly, the differential at halftime was 17 points. Now it's only 13. The Saints actually won that quarter.
Yeah, and a 10-point game in basketball is anybody's game still at that point. It's just out of reach here with 13. So, sorry, I should say not quite out of reach here with a 13-point lead.
The difficulty is that the pace really has fed into the Knights' favor for the most part. Although that third quarter seemed to turn a little bit. Let's see if the Saints can keep that going or if the Knights can reestablish the pace that they wanted.
Quick turnover by the Saints. Gigi Gaspar at 45. Back up to Penalosa. We'll set things up from here. Stuart Barnett looks inside to Yao. Over to Bella Gaspar for 3. Banks it in. No big deal.
The
She's
Banks
laughing.
The banks apparently are open today.
Clark, step through. Flips it up, no good. Grabs their own board. Once again, no good. But we've got our foul here on the Knights. And that'll be it for Kate Stewart Barnett.
Kate's
So her
very
fifth, and Diaz will check back in.
Stuart Barnett is a very good defensive player and also a very good shooter. That's not ideal for them. However, again, their bench kicks in and they put in Diaz to fill in for her. A pretty good option. Of note, Kevin, the Knights graduate only 4 players for next year. 3 of those happen to be starters at this time, but they have a very deep bench that have played a lot. They look to be good for several years. A very strong program.
Yeah, it's been fun watching this group over the years as they mature into the grade 12s they are now. And but with them graduating, like you said, they're not losing much in terms of the strength of their program.
That's a program that's been nurtured by head coach Jen Ferrano, who's been with St. Thomas More for a very long time. As Penalosa gets a steal here.
The Knights not letting up.
They seem to have reestablished themselves in a very, very good way. Let's look at a bit of a 1-3-1. Kind of a 1-3-1 set.
Coach Winston Brown here, voice cracking. It's been a long weekend.
Yep. And it's loud in here. So he's having to really raise his voice, use his diaphragm.
They might need to go to the placards or signs.
I think he's got enough left for 6 minutes.
3-ball Clark, no good. Maybe they could use buzzers like the Houston Astros.
Can you say that on right now, or is it too soon?
Never.
Unless you're an Astros fan.
Yeah, Knights looking to Yao. Flipped up, no good. Rebounded by Clark. Saints in a hurry here to come back as Clark looks to back down Penalosa from the top of the key. Balls on the baseline to Cutler. Great job by Yao.
Wow.
With the block.
That was a very good defensive play. Borderline, but it looked pretty clean.
Penalosa once again. Driving, no good. And it's tipped out by the Saints, so we'll stay here.
And even with the miss, the pressure that Penalosa puts on your defense is pretty significant.
Yeah, the fourth quarter, Knights with a big lead. They're looking super confident right now, and STA's looking a little wilted. Let's say.
And if you're the Knights, you keep your pressure on, you keep pressing, you keep running, looking for fast break buckets. But you want to take care of the ball. You don't want to take chances and make plays that you don't need to. You can always, if the fast break's not there, you can pull it out, you can swing the ball and look for an attack opportunity which are presenting themselves, or you can look for shooting opportunities because you've got very good shooters.
Not gonna lie, I'm tempted to sing into this microphone right now with the Montel Jordan.
I'm not. Anybody out there that's heard me sing knows I'm not.
So we'll come back with the Knights on the baseline. 12 seconds on the shot clock. STA looking to battle back.
Right now, the Knights look firmly in control.
STA might have to take some risks here, change things up. Maybe look trap or something. Gaspar into the paint. Layup no good. Rebounded Clark once again. Oh, Yao rips it away. Puts it right back up, but she'll miss again. So that's just padding the stats for Clark with more rebounds. Bobbled by Markarian, picked up by Gaspar. She'll look to settle things down here for the Knights.
And again, they're not going to rush anything. They're going to look for a good shot here, run their offense, make sure they get a good shot.
Penalosa!
Like that one.
4-3. She's feeling it.
Tough finish.
O'Flaherty
by O'Flaherty.
scoops it in for 2.
If I'm not mistaken, granddaughter of Jerry O'Flaherty, former Vancouver Canuck.
No way.
Yep.
Gaspar pump fakes. To Penalosa. Nifty pass over to
Such quick hands.
Yao. Floater no good. Rebounded Clark. She looks to start the break. Almost stolen by Gaspar. Markarian driving hard. Double team by the Knights. And they force the turnover.
Again, two red jerseys in front of Clark on that one.
Good defense by Cutler there.
Good hustle getting back by Cutler.
Jordan on land, faces a little bit of pressure, dumps it into Cutler, gets stuck under the hoop, gets her own rebound. It's good. 47-30. Knights lead. 3:40 left to go in the game.
You can sense they're in a clock management situation right now, the Knights are. They're not forcing anything. They're happy to take a bit of time off the clock and make sure they get a good shot.
Penalosa, 3-ball long, rebounded by Yao.
Not what the Saints wanted to see, and you can see Bella Gaspar pull that ball out and eat some more clock.
Great composure shown by the Knights. Hand off to DS.
They're very well disciplined, the Knights are. They run through their offense when they need to and attack when they need to.
Oh, what a move by Castiel Penalosa.
Very pretty.
Knights feeling it. 49-30 leads. Who's going to stop her when she's in the zone like that?
She is feeling it. The Knights have done a heck of a job tonight. They really have pushed the play. They've played the pace they wanted to. Have not let the Saints get set up. Have not let them play that game, that power axis from high to low, from Clark to Gemma Cutler, and that's why we get a 19-point game right now with 3 minutes left.
So, heading into the playoffs, what does the picture look like for these two teams?
The Knights are in a small zone, the Fraser North zone. There's only 3 teams in that zone. The Knights are heavily favored to qualify for provincials from there. STA is in a much larger zone with pretty stiff competition. They're in a zone with York House is very good. They're in a zone with the Vancouver Sea to Sky zone. York House is very good. Britannia is very good with 2 excellent players that lead them. It's going to be more of a challenge. Frankly, the Saints should qualify as well, but through a tougher road. The Knights are heavily favored to qualify out of their zone, and very well deserved too. They're an excellent team and a top 5 team in AA.
Knights ball.
As the Knights are firmly in control here, it is of note that should they hang on, this would be the first girls' title at the BC Catholic Basketball Championship for St. Thomas More.
Ooh, tough foul there by Gemma Cutler. Looks like Gigi Gaspar might have got poked in the eye, but she's fine.
She's a tough kid.
She looks tough.
Fouls on Gemma Cutler.
Her sister checks in on her. It's all good.
Looks in the mirror and says, "Yeah, looks right."
Personal foul. 2 foul number 1.
Gaspar over to Yao. Kickball called on Saints. Interested to see the Saints didn't opt for some full court pressure there, but that might have just worked right into the Knights' favor.
I think they'd be in tough, showing full court pressure.
Clark with another rebound. Over to Markarian. Up to Lalanne. Stolen by Bella Gaspar.
In the first quarter, Bella would have gone to the hoop with that possibly, but at this point, they are in a clock management situation. They are just looking to finish this game out. They're in complete control.
So St. Thomas Aquinas going back-to-back in 2018 and 2019. They will not three-peat this year unless some miracle happens in the next minute 55 seconds. St. Thomas More looks like they're going to pick up their first BC Catholic basketball championships.
For the girls, and well-deserved too. This is a program that started approximately 20 years ago when St. Thomas More became a co-ed school. And as I mentioned, Jen Ferrano was there almost from the start and has been building this program for many years. They've been to the final a couple times, but this is the first time that they'll come out with a victory. And as I said, well-deserved. They've shown themselves to be the best team at the tournament this year.
So last year's final, STA beat LFA handily, 72-44. Who did they lose from last year's team to this year?
They lost a couple of guards last year, and of note, their starting point guard, Kaylin Prescott, is out with an injury right now. Would she have made a difference? I think so. Would she have made enough of a difference? We'll never know. But it is significant to note that she is out with an injury, and she's a shooting threat and a ball handling threat, which really would have helped the Saints in this game.
And I seem to remember Thorpe as well.
Olivia Thorpe graduated last year. She was a real strong ball handler and a calming presence. A calming presence on the floor for the Saints last year.
So we've got word that the player of the game for St. Thomas More could potentially be Emily Diaz with a hot hand from the perimeter.
That's just a rumor. It's just a rumor right now. But yes, and she was big for them. She was good defensively as well on the perimeter, but she hit some real bombs and some real key bombs when it looked like STA might make a bit of a run.
Player of the game is number 3.
She was definitely looking to shoot every time she got the ball. She was shot ready. You got to love that as a coach.
Can you give it to the player? Yeah.
So Penalosa driving into the lane. We've got a foul on the ground on Markarian.
Bob, can you just bring it to me?
Diaz is a grade 11 student. She'll be back next year, and probably a key part of the Knights as they come back to try and repeat.
So shifty.
Mm-hmm. When you look at the tournament for next year, who do you see as key teams for next year, Kevin?
Definitely, from what I've seen, obviously the Knights. You know
Absolutely.
what? LFA did look strong, but I think their strongest players are grade 12, so they'll be graduating. Not sure what they have coming up the pike in terms of talent at LFA. Notre Dame and SJB in the third, fourth game had a great battle today. So Notre Dame, very physical. Not too sure on who's graduating this year from them as well, but.
Yeah, I think of note, SJB only graduates 3 players, and Holy Cross actually looks to be strong as well. They'll have a player that is ineligible presently that'll be playing next year.
Yeah, Taya Best.
Taya Best, that's correct. And they also have a lot of grade 11s, and apparently they have a good junior team as well. So,
and Keita Fujimura, one of their stronger players, is a grade 10 this year as well. So. More to look forward to for the future for the Crusaders.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning. Notre Dame graduates a couple of players, but they have a lot of young players as well. And SJB, and I think we're looking at the teams that right now look to be contenders for next year. But you never know the improvement that happens over 12 months in all the programs.
So it's a 51-35 lead here for St. Thomas More. We've got 26 seconds left to go as the Knights look to get a quick sub in here. And the Knights look like they are all smiles, all confidence. Great job by the Knights.
And at this point, of course, it's academic, but it's nice to see for the Knights. Congratulations to them as we wind up the last 25, 26 seconds on the clock. As I said, it's been a long time coming. Congratulations in particular to Jennifer Ferrano, who grew up playing in this tournament, was among the first players to play here. She is a Holy Cross student and has built a great program at STM, and they're going to reap the benefits of this here in the next 17 seconds as they wind up the clock. Cassiel Penalosa, who grew up just a few minutes from Holy Cross and went to the summer camps here. The Gaspar twins, who are in grade 12 and are going to celebrate this very well with their teammates.
So there you have it, your 2020 BC Catholic basketball champions, the St. Thomas More Knights.
Well done, St. Thomas More. Very well deserved. Very tough for the Saints. But if I know Coach John Prescott, what he's saying right now in his mind, not to his team, but what he's saying in his mind is it's not bad to lose a game. Sometimes at this point of the year, it's okay to lose a game. It refocuses you, it shows you where your weaknesses are, and it gets you ready for your playoff run and for provincials.
So that's it for tonight for the girls final. Thanks for tuning in, and please stay tuned for the boys final coming up next at 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kevin.